Sitting next to light itself, Mingyur Rinpoche, thank you for being with us.
Very happy to be here.
The joy of living.
Yes.
What inspired you to write this book?
If you make friends with your panic attacks, then no more suffering. Panic attacks can be support for happiness. I get shocked. Teach me now. So deeper level, I'm laughing, but tight. These three things, the ignorance, the selfish clinging, aversion and craving, is only 10%. There are 90% of awareness, love and compassion, wisdom are within us and within all people. But we need to recognize. For example, this is a watch, right? So what is the quality of the watch can tell the time. If you are not recognize your own watch cannot tell you time. No matter the best watch in the world cannot tell you time. It is not the problem of watch. The problem is we are not recognized. So we all have this wonderful quality we need to recognize. That journey of the recognition called the meditation. And if you fully realize that, fully recognize your true nature, you're enlightened. You become Buddha.
Welcome to Pragya.
Thank you.
Sitting next to light itself, Mingyur Rinpoche, thank you for being with us.
I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to ask the questions in a manner which is more simplified for a young person to watch your answers, as it seems to me that you will just clear the doubts in their head about the various sects of Buddhism, the certain doubts that come with renunciation, and certain aspects of bringing it to our own lives, and how it's so easy and not impossible.
Right.
So my first question to you is, you've written this beautiful book, which is translated into 20 languages.
Yes.
The Joy of Living.
Yes.
What inspired you to write this book?
So the two things.
Okay.
One, when I was young, I had panic attacks. So panic attacks developed with me when I was 7, 8 years old. And when I was 9, become so severe. And I discussed with my mom. My mom said, you should learn meditation from my father. My father was a great meditation teacher.
Okay.
So I learned meditation from him. And he said, make friends with the panic attacks. At the beginning, I said, what, Now I don't want to learn meditation from you. He said, if you make friends with your panic attacks, then no more suffering. Panic attacks can be support for happiness. And I feel shocked. Teach me now. So I learned meditation from him for a few years, and I meditate. I was lazy, also a lazy boy, when we were young, we are lazy. After 5 years later, then me and my panic become good friends.
Wow.
Those symptoms still there, tight my heart, cannot breathe. I feel like sometime in the flight, like turbulence, even I'm not in the flight, but all these symptoms become support for awareness, love, and what we call wisdom. These three things. So deeper level, I'm laughing, but tight. And it doesn't bother me. Then later, from I was 20, I begin to lot of meetings, exchange with the modern science.
Right.
What I learned in this Buddhist tradition and what the scientists discovered, very similar. I thought I should write this book.
Amazing. So what I've understood you're saying is, in the Buddhist tradition, this is already scientific.
Yes.
And science today is just proving what was already said.
Yes.
Which is amazing as well, because they have these colorful diagrams and they have all these gadgets and everything else.
Yes.
So the inspiration was obviously Buddhism.
Yes. But in science, there's no meditation. The idea of being doesn't there. But of course, in science, there's look for the reason, hypotheses. Then they try to do a lot of experiment, and they find a discovery. Similar, what Buddha said, don't take my words because I say so. It's like gold. You need to cut and rub and burn, then gold become genuine. So you can take in my words according to your own experience,
Right.
your learning. So as a fundamental level, it's very similar. But of course, the scientist has a lot of theoretical development and can bring to the machines a lot of things, but there's no meditation. So in this book, there's a lot of being, how to learn, awareness, love and compassion. And then wisdom, which is we have the insight of the seeing the nature of mind and the matter.
So a byproduct of actually the wisdom, the breathing, the knowing, the byproduct is peace.
Yes.
The byproduct
Byproduct is peace.
And children today across the world, and actually atheists around the world as well, they often say that none of these things really matter. But now science is staring at your face and it's saying, well, actually it does. So please buy this book. I don't think you'll regret it, and I'm not promoting it. It's just fantastic. I received it yesterday and I couldn't put it down. Thank you. And nobody would translate a book in 20 languages. So takes me to my second question to you. You were born in a very privileged family. You were surrounded by yogis, practitioners.
Yeah.
Would you like to throw some light on that?
Yeah, I was really fortunate. Sometimes I'm saying that I just being born, and there's a great family, especially my father and my mom. I learned all this meditation from my father, and I'm saying that buy one get one free.
Right. Definitely in your case.
My father and teacher. So, but I think at the same time, in Buddhism, what we believe that fundamental level, everybody has the basic goodness, that there's no exception that you cannot transform yourself.
Right.
And this is scientists also saying that nowadays.
Right.
In 1998, the scientists said brain cannot change, fix what they call baseline, meaning if you are a little bit anxious, rest of your life will be anxious. If you are a little bit angry, like angry person, you cannot change rest of your life like that.
How sad.
But then from 2004 somewhere, they discover neuroplasticity. Maybe can change. Then later they discover neural pathways. Even the connection in the brain can change. And now neurogenesis, even gene expression in the brain can change. So that means if you're born with unhappy, you become happy person. If you're born with anxious person, you can change. Doesn't matter who you are.
So we actually, all of us have Buddha within us. And it's up to us how we awaken ourselves. It's not how we were born, it's how we arrive and where we have arrived.
Yes.
May I ask you, why did you leave your home then?
So I really interested to learn meditation when I was 9. Then 11, I went to India.
I believe so. And then you were at Bodh Gaya, and then you went to this riverbank and stayed about for 6 years.
And that's not me.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Buddha.
I know, actually, in your book also it says that.
I went to wandering retreat.
Okay.
That was the 2011 later. But when I was 11, I went to India near Dharamshala. One of my guru, His Holiness Dixit Rinpoche. So he has a monastery there. So I study Buddhist philosophy and rituals, meditation. When I was 13, he started first 3-year retreat outside Tibet, so in India. So I really want to join. So I joined 3-year retreat. Why I left my hometown because of panic attacks. And actually, my panic attacks become my friend, my teacher.
Amazing. There was a lot of evidence and saying that you wanted to live your life and explore yourself. And you traveled as a bhikshu for 3 years. And from your journey to India and then traveling as a bhikshu, what would be your reason and what was your learning?
Yeah. So when I was young, my mother read the bedtime story. So in my hometown in Nepal, in the Himalayan mountains, so in the winter it's quite cold, and we all get together around the fire. The middle of the house there's a fire, and she will read the very famous yogi called Milarepa, Milarepa's life story. And then later, my grandmother will cry, and I cry, and my mom cries. So we all cry. So I have this kind of like inspiration, like I want to follow like Milarepa. Of course, I cannot compare like Milarepa, but at least that is my
your own inspiration.
Inner desire.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have that desire very strong. And then 2011, I thought, now is the time. So I left my monastery. I have monastery that time in Bodh Gaya. And mostly I went to, in summer, I go to the Himalayan mountain.
Oh, wow.
So very nice. Temperature is good, but winter become too cold. So I come down, like border between Nepal and India.
How wonderful.
Sometimes I go to ashram, I become sadhu.
So you've had these varied lives where you actually went exploring and finding yourself at the same time.
Yes. So I learned two things. One is about the life, normal life. And second is it really helps further enhance my meditation practice because there's a lot of challenge. I'm alone, no money, relying on begging.
In spite of the fact that you came from a very comfortable home.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went looking for yourself.
Yes.
So very similar to Buddha though.
Cannot compare.
Yes. Okay. So you can take me to a space of understanding that can we all have this opportunity in our life where we actually go seeking, inspired by higher beings? Do we have to limit our thought process?
Actually, everybody has potential, what we call, everybody has this awareness, love and compassion and wisdom.
Right.
That is our fundamental quality. But normally, we are not recognize these qualities within us. So what we call, we are lost with the egoistic mind.
Right.
Then based on that, aversion, craving, these two things. Like if you drive a car, brake and accelerator, right? And engine is like ignorant. Then the car of suffering will continue.
Okay.
But these three things, the ignorant, the selfish clinging, aversion and craving, is only 10%. There are 90% of awareness, love and compassion, wisdom are within us and within all people. But we need to recognize. For example, this is a watch, right? So what is the quality of the watch can tell the time. If you are not recognize your own watch cannot tell you time. No matter the best watch in the world cannot tell you time. It is not the problem of watch. The problem is we are not recognized. So we all have this wonderful quality we need to recognize. That journey of the recognition called the meditation. And if you fully realize that, fully recognize your true nature, you're enlightened.
Amazing.
Become Buddha.
So we all have it. God was very kind. The divine was very kind. He made us equal. We all have this quality. We just have to go looking for what is within and ensure that we don't operate from ego, which is unnecessary. My next question to you is, what is the difference between Vajrayana, Hinayana, and Mahayana traditions, because there are a lot of texts that are coming out about it. There's a lot of awareness which is coming out about it. And I'd like to hear it from you, the difference.
So, in Buddhism, there are three main lineage called, normally what we call foundational yana, great yana, and Vajrayana. The foundational yana, there are so many, like Theravada is one. In Tibet, we have Sarvasivada. So normally what we call, there are 18 Vadas. And this all teaching, based on the first teaching of Buddha, what we call Four Noble Truths. Buddha taught in the Saranat, the foundational teaching for all the Buddhist practitioners. Sometimes what we call early Buddhist tradition.
Right. And would that be Vajrayana?
That is Theravada.
Theravada.
Or Sarvasivada. There are 18 Vadas, but now the most popular one is Theravada. Then what we believe, Buddha went to Vulture Peak Mountain in Rajagir, in India, Rajagir.
Yes.
So he taught Bodhicitta, meaning loving kindness, compassion, special wanting to help all beings, to lead to the enlightenment. So that's called Bodhicitta. And based on Bodhicitta, the main focus teaching is Shunyata, emptiness, the selflessness. The egoistic self is not exist, yet it's not nothing. That there is luminous mind, there is awareness, love and compassion and wisdom, yet it's not truly exist. So based on that, what we call the Great Yana or the Mahayana teaching camp. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So the Mahayana is the like lot of in the Korea, Vietnam, China, Japan is like Mahayana tradition. And the first one, Theravada, is really famous in the main practice of Sri Lanka, Thailand, Cambodia, Burma is the Theravadan tradition. So, and then last teaching, what we call Buddha taught according to personality, not in the big public teaching, but sometimes Buddha taught in Tushita, sometimes taught various, depend on the person to person, called main focus is about the luminosity, luminous mind. So what we call Buddha nature, Sukhada Garbha. And based on that, the Vajrayana teaching came. So Vajrayana teaching men in Tibet, Bhutan, and some part of Japan, Nepal, we have this Niwari tradition, Vajracharya, and also some part of Indonesia also now still exists, and China, some part of China also.
So the word Maha to me means the highest.
Maha meaning great.
Great.
Big.
The ultimate.
Yeah. The main meaning is the motivation. So Mahayana motivation is, I want to help all beings to lead to the enlightenment. That motivation is big. So they were, this is why it's Mahayana. It doesn't mean who is the highest.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I guess when you're light, you're just light, like the rainbow. You can just put your hand through it.
Yes.
And it's just light.
And all these three yana, which one is the highest or which one is better, it depends on you. Which one the person related, that's the best.
So perhaps it's a preparation from one step to the other. Depends on each individual, what they are willing to do and how long are they willing to do and how much they want to go for it. It's to your own capacity.
Yes.
We are faced with this lust, greed, anger, joy and happiness. Constantly at every given time. And it's almost like a mirror that you have to see for yourself, because you're going through, not you, perhaps I would say for me, going through it at all times, and then of course recognizing it and keeping the distance. How can we change inside internally? What's your message to the world?
Yes. So what Buddha said, it's all depend on the recognition. Like if you recognize your own watch, watch can tell you time. So there's no problem that we don't have. We have abundance of enlightening quality with us. The problem is we need to recognize. So how to recognize? Through awareness, through love and compassion, through wisdom. 3 things. And awareness can be beginning with your own breathing. Okay, I know I'm breathing in. Okay, now breath is going out. Very simple, just like that. Or just listen to sound. Whatever sound there, you just listen. What we call your mind, your ear together listen to sound. That is become the awareness practice, what we call meditation. Second, connect with the love and compassion that everybody want to be happy, right? Each movement we are looking for happiness. When you sit in this chair, maybe we need to move a little bit like this. But if you sit on this position too long, uncomfortable. Okay, we change maybe like this way. Oh, a little bit happy. Maybe hand crossed like this way or this way. Or each eye is blinking. It's looking for happiness. So we have this feeling of wanting to be happy, don't want to suffer all the time with us, and to understand that within us and wish that everybody have happiness and free from suffering is love and compassion. And finally, wisdom, meaning to recognize who we are, discovery of self. That's the wisdom.
Amazing. What is Toku?
Tulgu meaning reincarnated. So normally what we call the fundamental quality of the mind is unborn, never being born. So you cannot die. In order to die, you have to be born.
Mm-hmm.
But when we not recognize that unborn nature, we die. Our thought is dying every day, every hour, every minute. Our feelings are dying. It's like yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
So you're talking about a body out experience, or you're talking about
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
So
body no need to come out.
Right.
Right now is dying.
Mm-hmm.
Every day is dying. That's why we are getting older.
Mm.
And yesterday is just a memory. Whatever we did yesterday is just memory. Nothing there. It's like past life.
It was past life, wasn't it?
Yeah. And tomorrow, who knows? That's next life. So actually what we call death is just in between of unconscious moment.
But there is so much fear of death.
Yes.
Everybody is fearing death. And at the same time, the other side is that, if you do the right karma, you will come into a better position.
Yes.
Right? So, like that, enlightened souls also must be going through the same journey.
Right.
And I thought Toku was a part of the journey.
Right.
When an enlightened soul like yourself,
Right.
comes in, that means it's not learned everything in this lifetime.
Right.
It's bringing it from another lifetime.
Right.
So does this happen to every human being?
Yeah. So Tulgu means reincarnated.
Mm-hmm.
So if you took the vow of Mahayana,
Mm-hmm.
Bodhicitta, I want to help all beings to lead to the enlightenment, then of course you have to achieve certain level of realization. Then you choose to come back into the human body or whatever body to help other beings. So go round and round. So that's called Tulgu.
So basically, not everybody has it in them.
Yes.
But it can be attained.
Can be done. Yes. So you have to have some choice that you can consciously choose to come back. Then become the Tulgu. But it's reincarnated for the helping other beings.
And is the Tulgu recognized by saints and the enlightened ones already? Yes. Because I believe light can only recognize light.
Yes.
Would that be a right statement?
Yeah, there are so many methods to how to recognize. Most important is the enlightened, like the head of the lineage. They will write down which direction. It's not like modern, exactly like modern address, but the name of the father, mother, and house facing which, the house face which direction, how many family member,
Wow.
and behind there's a what kind of mountain. So based on that, they have to look.
Definitely, a lot of looking happens there.
Yeah.
Amazing. How you, as a master of the greatest, highest path of meditation, you see the school, the children benefit from all these learnings. I understand in your monastery yesterday when we spoke that you're using this concept to help and enlighten children to the
Yes.
path. But I also understand Europe and America
Yeah.
is using these methods of understanding the self
Yes.
to arrive to the wisdom.
Yes.
At current, I see that in totality, although the wisdom has come from Asia,
Right.
it's still recognized more in the West,
Yes.
and the application in the West is more.
Yes.
Is it anything to do with resources, or is it openness of the mind,
Yes.
or is it adaptability and openness of governments to introduce such a procedure?
I think it relates all of this, so many causes and the conditions. For example, in my hometown, we really want to teach sometime. The past generation, they really absorb this teaching in their life. So when I go to the village home, there's a meditation cushion. There's a meditation bell. So, grandpa, grandma, they cannot meditate, sit very easily. There's a bell also, what we call meditation bell. So these are there. The grandpa, grandma, they are meditating. But now young generation, they don't meditate. They are lost with the modern, special the materialism. So I want to teach them meditation. They don't want to listen. So many of them went to Europe and America, and now they see many people are interested to learn meditation. Actually, my hometown has these teachers. Maybe I should come back. So now they come back to learn meditation from us. So I think there's some kind of like
A cosmic?
openness, interest. And in the Europe, America, now even government try to change the policy that these teachings from India, basically, these ancient teachings of meditation, try to available in the schools also. Many schools, even in the corporate, the business companies, they are meditating nowadays.
Right.
And but our hometown, like Nepal and India, the public still less recognition about the meditation.
The West comes to India and to Asia to learn how to meditate. And it's not from now, it's always been the same. Also, the Indian masters have gone abroad and taught the science of meditation, and they are very much available here. There is some kind of a confusion that we have produced in our own minds. Sometimes it's a surplus, and sometimes it's you taking time out from your busy life to ensure that you grow in time and on the right path. Today, Westerners come to India. The Westerners come with a mind, an open mind, where they're willing to learn the concept of the self, the mind, body, and the breath, the importance of what they can take back to their families, to their homes, to their children. Having said that, we, as being in India, being in Asia, knowing that these sciences have gone from here in this country, in this part of the world, we must learn to meditate so our children aspire. Thank you so much. Thank you. And my last message from you is, do you think in every school in the world there should be meditation for children of all age?
Of course.
And should this be done daily or many times a day? Should this be done weekly? What do you think it is?
I think it's really important to cooperate the class itself, because in Nepal, what we are doing is whatever the modern education, the view of meditation is already there. The scientists, they discover about the interdependent. They discover about impermanence, like everything changing.
Yes.
They discover very close to shunyata now.
Yep.
But there's no meditation in science. But we can integrate whatever they study, mathematics, social science, psychology, engineer, architecture, whatever, all connected with the awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. So if you can join this together, outer learning, inner learning together, then I think really good for the life, good for the many people's life.
And I think it's like you eat every day, you sleep every day. So it's just about a habit. It's a forming of a habit. The brain, which is used to rejecting new things, it is scientifically proven. Science has already proved it. It gets shocked when something new happens. So don't give it so much attention. Give yourself attention, your being attention. Take that pledge that every day I will meditate for 5 minutes, and soon it will become a habit and a part of who I am. And through that, I will understand what is my true innate nature. Thank you. Thank you so
Welcome.
much.